Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. In artificial intelligence news, would you pay $200 US every month to use ChatGPT? Yeah, I didn't think so, but OpenAI thinks you will. There's a really interesting write-up the other day by Bryce Durbin of TechCrunch, and I want to go through the TikTok here because, quite frankly, I think this is actually really interesting. And I think it's where we're basically going with artificial intelligence in some way, shape, or form. And hear me out here, because OpenAI has launched a new subscription plan for ChatGPT. I'm sure at this point, unless you're not following me or listening to me, and I'm pretty sure you are, basically this is the AI-powered chatbot that OpenAI introduced to the world that kind of made large language models explode all over the planet. So on December 5th, OpenAI announced ChatGPT Pro. This is a $200 a month subscription tier that basically provides unlimited access to essentially all of OpenAI's models, including the full version of its O1 reasoning model. Now, Jason Wei, who's a member of the technical staff over at OpenAI, said, and I quote, "We think the audience for ChatGPT Pro will be power users of ChatGPT, those who are already pushing the models to the limits of their capabilities on tasks like math, programming, and writing," end quote. And sure, but we're going to get to that too, because quite frankly, they have other tiers and all their prices are going to be raising. So let's see if this is worth it, because unlike most AI, O1 and other reasoning models actually attempt to check their work as they are doing it. You will recall all of the hallucinations. I've talked about those basically over the last couple of years or so as large language models have come onto the scene, about how these things can basically lie to you and then verify basically the lie by saying, oh no, I'm not lying to you. This is actual real stuff. It's happened in court all over the place. So this actually checks its work as essentially it's feeding you an answer. So this helps them obviously then avoid some of those pitfalls that normally trip up models. And here we are. Now, O1 reasons through tasks, planning ahead, and performing a series of actions that help essentially the model really suss out answers for you in a way that the traditional large language models that ChatGPT and their competitors have just aren't doing. And others, for the record, have reasoning models as well. So OpenAI released a preview of O1 back in September, but this new version is supposed to be essentially much better. Now, compared to the preview, users can expect, and I quote, "a faster, more powerful, and accurate reasoning model that is even better at coding and math." That's according to an AI spokesperson talking basically to Bryce Durbin of TechCrunch, who I'm cribbing from. Thank you very much, Bryce. Now, additionally, O1 can reason about input uploads. That wasn't possible during the preview, and it has been trained to be, quote, "more concise in its thinking in order to improve its response times." Now, according to OpenAI's internal testing, O1 reduces quote-unquote major errors on quote difficult real-world questions by 34% compared to the preview version. In other words, they've already improved it since September. Now, oddly enough, basically the full O1 performs worse than the preview version on a number of common benchmarks. One of those benchmarks is known as the MLE bench, which measures how well AI agents perform at machine learning engineering. But here's the thing with the $200 a month O1 secret weapon, if you want to call it that. O1 at the moment doesn't require a ChatGPT Pro subscription for $200 a month. Basically, on December 7th, as I'm sitting here recording this for you, all paid ChatGPT users, meaning like $20 a month or whatever, can access O1 through the ChatGPT model selector tool. I went to ChatGPT, I took a look, and it is there. But ChatGPT Pro subscribers will get an ostensibly better version of O1 than basically the $20 a month tier. So basically they're calling it O1 Pro mode, and it, quote, "uses more compute for the best answers to the hardest questions," end quote. So in other words, if you're asking it the philosophy of life, you're going to get, an answer. If you're asking it to calculate pi to infinity, it's going to crunch it. So ChatGPT Pro users can access this functionality by selecting O1 Pro mode in the model picker. I basically went into ChatGPT and I looked at the different models, and essentially I saw O1, but the pro users will see pro mode, which apparently is, again, even more aggressive. So since these answers will take longer to generate, ChatGPT will then display a progress bar and send an in-app notification if they switch away basically to another conversation. In other words, you can let it sit there and crunch while you're asking it other things. So ChatGPT Pro is by far the most priciest plan that OpenAI has come out with. It is essentially 10 times more than the $20 a month, because 20 times 10 is 200. And it's likely to be a tough sell to all but, let's say, the most devout users or devoted users. And I think like this would be fine for like research institutions, that kind of stuff. But I quite frankly think that like regular users aren't really going to be using this. On top of it, a lot of us think that $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus is just too expensive, right? For that, especially when there are competitors out there. But here we are. So in order to sweeten that pot, ChatGPT Pro will also include unlimited access to the 4.0 and advanced voice models, or voice mode, and also ChatGPT's human-like conversational feature as well. So you really want to talk to AI and prove your loneliness, feel free. Now, OpenAI is also going to give some subscriptions away for free. They're basically announcing a program that will award 10 grants to ChatGPT Pro to medical researchers at leading institutions and all of that. That actually raises my eyebrows, only in the sense that I have deep fear that anything you are feeding ChatGPT Pro, like any ChatGPT, is going to be used and essentially trained on other models, meaning you're basically inputting that brand new medical research on DNA or whatever the heck you're doing, and now OpenAI gets a copy, but you get ChatGPT Pro for free. I don't think that's a good idea, especially if you're rocking intellectual property. And they're looking at basically creating this grant across various disciplines in the future. I speculate that this is because they would love to get that kind of intellectual property ahead of anybody else with their AI model, train their AI models on it, and make them that much more effective. So then when I go buy it for $200 a month, which I am not planning on doing, here we are. Now, that said, they're also expecting to raise their prices across the board by 2029. They're expecting that ChatGPT, basically like the plus version, the $20 a month version, will be around $44, $45 a month. So they're raising the prices on everybody. And I think this is where we're going. We have basically been conditioned for the subscription model in our business life. I mean, nobody pays for a single copy of Office anymore, right? And you use Microsoft Word until you can't anymore. Then you go buy another copy like 5 years later. No, we are buying it month to month to month. And that is basically true of everything that we're doing in our personal lives as well, right? I mean, you can buy like an annual subscription, to like a Hulu or something, but most people go month to month because it's just cheaper in the short term. And so when you've got a $200 a month thing, it's just not going to fly. Now, Sam Altman, outside of the article by Bryce Durbin of TechCrunch, and thank you very much, Bryce, that was a good write-up on that, and there was more there you should go read. Basically, Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI, has basically said that he expects that basically access to OpenAI is going to be a commodity like gold at some point, meaning the more powerful the artificial intelligence, the more desire you're going to have to get access to it, because it can do tasks for you, it can answer questions, it can do all these kinds of things. At some point, we'll probably just upload our brains with it, if you've ever seen that Black Mirror episode. So we're gonna see where this goes, but quite frankly, $200 basically a month, I mean, that's nuts, right? Because you're talking about $2,400 every single year just to access basically AI, when I can get it for free from Google and a whole bunch of other places. So we'll see, but I don't think this is going to take off. I just think it's only going to be the most niche research institutions. But again, Sam Altman is banking that this is going to be such a hot commodity that we're going to have no choice, like a cell phone, to pay monthly and pay well for it. So we'll see who wins. Odds are they will. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where I'm still free. Please feel free to follow me. Same with YouTube. You don't have to pay anything to watch my videos, and or listen to my radio show for that matter. Just tune in. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.